Hello, everybody. I hope all finds you well and happy Tuesday. So excited to join with you here for 30 minutes. And welcome. Hello, Ali. Hello, Rose.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I hope you have all had a fantastic.
Welcome to the Healing Through Love show.
Hello, ladies.
Hello. Welcome to the Healing Through Love show. We're here to increase awareness within the community about providing family and domestic violence survivors with a soft place to land and to offer advice on services available to these survivors and their families.
We have many local businesses and service people who generously pay it forward at our Pamper Days by providing their time and resources at these events.
And each week on this show, what we do is we interview one or two of our wonderful supporters of our Pamper Days to learn more about their personal journeys, about their businesses, and how they support healing through love to assist survivors. So I'm going to be doing the interview today, and the wonderful Rose is going to be going off and doing all the background fun, and Charlene, you're going to go and have some fun on Facebook doing a bit of commenting. So thank you, ladies. So I would love to introduce you to today's guest. We have Diane Klem-Goode coming on today. Now, Diane is a speaker and wealth coach, as well as the founder of the Good Property Group. Diane's passion for the property market was actually ingrained at 5 years of age, as she saw it as a way to escape her abusive household. And being so young, she knew that all she wanted was to buy a home where she could feel safe, but she knew that she needed a substantial amount of money. And Diane is a very strong advocate for females taking charge of their finances, educating themselves, having a financial vision, goal setting, action taking, and being supported along the way. She loves helping females become empowered to start investing and create the freedom that they deserve. Hello, Diane. How are you? Welcome today.
Hi, Ali. Good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, beautiful, darling. I'm really, really looking forward to the conversation we're going to have today. So before we go any further, would you like to tell us a little bit more about yourself and your own journey?
Okay, thank you. I was brought up in a family of six. There were six of us in a small two-bedroom semi. So we were very much working class. My father was an abusive alcoholic, and my mother was had a few narcissistic sort of tendencies as well. There was one event when, as I said, when I was 5, when there was a situation that I was laying on my back and my mother was actually strangling me. That was the time I knew within that household the one safe person I thought I had really wasn't there the way I thought. So that's when it engraved in me that I wanted to live somewhere safe and somewhere that there wasn't any abuse happening. So, of course, being at 5, you don't know, anything. You just know you go to the shops and buy something. So I thought a house looks big and I needed a lot of money. So from then on, I did, at that age, all the, your pocket money jobs. I saved all my, all the money I earned. And then I actually progressed on to becoming a woolly checkout chick at the age of 15 as soon as I could. I stashed that money, progressed on to leaving school at 17. I had to go to business college, which is something I didn't want to do, but I thought, okay, that's a way out to get more cash. Within 6 months of working, I bought my first property, which was a block of land. From there, I progressed on to buying a property portfolio that covered residential and commercial using different strategies. I worked 2 full-time jobs. So I worked the morning shifts at one, the night shift at the other, and I worked weekends as well, because that to me was, if I could financially survive no matter what circumstance, I was going to be okay. So I did that as well. And then I progressed to 2 marriages. The first one had its own sort of form of more mindset sort of abuse. And the second one covered a fair few different parts. Started off all great and then, of course, sort of went sort of downhill. That was the one I think that took the toll the most psychologically, and I sort of lost myself and lost my confidence and what I wanted to do and sort of self-worth, that sort of everything sort of took effect. But then I decided to take control. Enough. There was an incident one day and I thought that's enough, and I reached out, got a wonderful coach, and within went away for a 5-day sort of retreat. Within 2 weeks, I moved out and taken control of my kids. And so that's why I've also sort of gone back. I've gone into coaching as well, because I believe that if you can control your finances, if you've got some backup, then you're stronger, and you've got that exit strategy as well. If you know you've got the finances behind.
Yeah, that's a really. I'm amazed that you started with that mindset of the finances from so young. I think that's absolutely incredible, and that you have literally since childhood saving your pocket money. You know, your first time job started creating that financial freedom for yourself, which is really, really interesting. So tell us a little bit more about your business and how it helps survivors, Diane.
Okay, with my coaching, what I do is I cover sort of all facets. We look at past beliefs when it comes to, you know, what you've been told, the stories somebody else has put on you, or the labels they put on. We look at your past beliefs. We clear your blockages as they come up. Self-worth, I'm very much on self-worth and self-value, like living to your values and your own beliefs as well. You yourself, not what other people think. I look at your circle of influence too. Sometimes you've got to, you know, make some adjustments to that or bring some new people on board. So I do, you know, I've had to sort of reevaluate that myself when I moved out. And techniques how to handle stressful people, negotiate like in situations as well, with a bit of NLP I use with that as well. I love goal setting with the milestones and the micro goals as well, and accountability. Like I hold my clients accountable, so they sort of just keep progressing as well. And celebration is huge for me. Celebration, you know, you fall down, you get back up, you dust yourself up, you keep going forward. Even if it's a win, and even if it's a bit of a mistake or it's a fall down and you got back, celebrate it. Yes. I think we're too hard on ourselves as women that, you know, oh, I made a mistake, I'm an idiot, and all those past patterns come back up. So I like to celebrate it. Great. If there's a pattern, we clear it, we deal with it. Celebrate it. We've learned something. Whether we don't go in that situation, we don't do that action, or we need to bring someone into, you know, or learn or grow from it. So that's I'm really, really, really quite big into that. And self-love, just self-love. Doesn't matter what we've been through, we're pretty amazing, because if we get back up and stand up again, what resilience is that?
So true. Yes, that's right. And I absolutely love, yes, keep getting back up. So now I know that, Diane, you've come maybe with a few points that you'd like to share with our audience today.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So as far as I think I'd like you to see, sort of back yourselves, like everyone backs, like just to have that confidence. Where you are right now, if you're in that situation when you're thinking, you know, I can't do it, just there's a little voice inside you, or there's that little girl that, you know, deserves that little bit better. Like, you know, with me, I take around that 5-year-old child, yeah, and I think it's her time to be heard and seen. So when I get into a situation, I think, oh, you know, I don't know if I can. Well, she can, and she deserves it. So just find that little thing inside you. Find that inner strength. Back yourself. Please back yourself. Yes. You may not know how to do it, you know, who you need to know, what steps next, but just you're here, and the next step where you're going to be. And just focus on that end goal where you want to be, and value yourself. Please value yourself. Yes. That's huge. And sort of, you know, surround yourself with a network of support. You know, you don't need one person to support you. You know, if you can reach out for that, someone to lean on even is, you know, it's invaluable.
Yeah, it's very important. And there's one thing that I say a lot to, you know, whether it's through Healing Through Love or through my own business, is that, you know, just because I personally had to do it alone doesn't mean that other people have to do it alone. You know, there are so many of us like you, like me, Charlene and Rose out there, you know, offering support to all these fantastic women. And one thing that I wanted to speak to you about specifically, and I know we spoke about this previously before the interview, was that you work, so you're a money and you're a mindset coach. Now, a wealth coach, beg your pardon. Now, we spoke about the fact that there's a bit of a misconception or preconception, if you like, that people who come from abusive relationships don't have money. Would you like to speak to that a little bit?
Okay, I think abuse knows no boundaries, really, and it's not. There's no class to it. You know, there is a lot of women out there, and I mean, it's very easy to put a front on. Like once you walk outside that front door, you think, you know, okay, we'll just lock that abuse away. No one knows, because no one knows what happens behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And I've had now a lot of women coming to me that have, on the surface, perfect lives. You know, they have the nice home, they have all the wealthy appliances and the designer clothes. The kids are in private schools, driving, you know, the Mercedes or the Porsches or the, you know, four-wheel drives. But little do you know, because that is their persona. That's the front they put on to their friends, to their families. And it's also for the protection of their kids, because the children don't always know. Sometimes abuse does happen when they're out of the house. It can be quite destructive. It can be just kids go to school, things can happen, and the mother holds it together. Which is fair enough. Sometimes that's the situation, but it does also lead to times when they actually are spending nights in the car. You know, they don't want, when it gets to the stage they can't go home, and they think they've got nowhere to turn to. Next thing you know, there's the 24-hour McDonald's. You can go and that's a bathroom facility. They can wash and clean there. You know, they sort of hide it. So I'm quite shocked that, you know, that it's, especially if the husband has control of the money, you know, he can make sure he pays them to keep the front, or he can just turn around and do the financial abuse road. But, you know, their school fees aren't paid. So then it starts affecting the kids, because, you know, somehow they find out. Not always do they just send out an email, so I'll give a letter to the child. And everyone knows in that class, that's the school bill. You haven't paid it. Well, you know, they're basically not being able to graduate because they're so far behind in their school fees. So I have had, there's a fair few women coming to me lately like that. So what I'd just like to say is to also, it's not a sign of weakness to ask for help.
Yes.
I had to learn this myself. It's a sign of strength. You know, you think you're embarrassed and you can't, but if you ask for help, you'd be amazed at people that are going to reach out to you. Because if you put it on a front, nobody knows. You know, they don't know that. And, you know, and you might also be helping them because maybe they're going to do something as well, or they know another friend. And then you can sort of be put together, you know. People will help each other out as much as you can. So find sort of some support, find out a good mentor, you know, if it's somebody that's been through that as well. And, you know, if you can work on your skill set, if you've had something you like, sort of a career that you've let go, whatever, you can sort of upskill a little bit more on that so it's current, or look at some sort of skills that you can add as well. So you sort of, you know, your confidence is growing as well. It sort of makes your transition a little bit easier as well. And learn where that money's going. So you've sort of got some resources about where it is, or, you know, when you get further down the road.
Yeah, so they would be the types of things as well. I am going to assume that you help your clients with as well, is that you would help them to kind of, what am I trying to say, to prepare for, you know, something, if something was to happen, for even an emergency, you know, not wanting to say that it's going to happen, but yeah.
Yeah, it is. There is a lot of, I mean, especially in like the financial abuse, a man's taken over the power of the money, you don't know where anything is. If you can sort of, you know, if you're at the stage you can find out where it is, that's great, because you can know, okay, there's this account, there's a, you know, you do have to be smart, because money can be easily transferred out, taken out, magically disappear. So if you can, you know, sort of do that. If you're in the situation where you can't, you know, that's when you'll get your legal team in, sort of thing. But if you can start thinking of yourself, you know, if you are earning a bit of money, if you can put some aside, you know, just think, if I have to move out tomorrow, you know, if I have to feed my kids and be on my own tomorrow. So I do look at money management. You know, I do sort of, I like to get them to sort of, you know, be aware of where they are right now, and then we progress them through. Because money management is a huge thing. If you can master that, and it's a great confidence builder as well.
I have to 100% agree with that, because I don't know if people realise that my own story now, I I left my husband and I had literally $200 in my pocket because he had taken control of the finances, and I had 2 young children to support as well. So, it was a very difficult situation, which has actually now, and I'm sure you would hear this kind of story a lot, Diane, is that I have now, 20 odd years down the track, come to be extremely financially independent, even though I'm in a committed relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You have to be. I think you have to. You've got to. I suppose it's a little bit of an odd thing to say, but you've just got to be able to. I always think, if tomorrow comes, can you stand up?
Yes.
Emotionally, financially, how's your family? Can you feed your family and pay the bills? Even if it's to the minimum, it doesn't matter. But can you, if you get into another situation, like say if you walked out of one and you got into another, the pattern continues and you attract that same person. Are you ready for it? If you have to get out?
Yeah.
I like the scenario that you may go through some stuff, but you strengthen yourself up, you educate yourself, and you know where you want to go, you have your plans, and then you sort of bring in a partner that complements you. You don't drag them up, you bring in someone that complements you and strengthens you. I like a very close friend told me this story of, it's like 2 trees, and you've got the trunk, and underneath the soil is the roots, and the roots intertwine and you support each other. And then you've got the trunk, and then you've got the leaves and the branches, that you can have a bit of your own life. You can have your independence, but the trunk is your strong and the roots is the support. And that's what your relationships, I think, should look like.
Well, that's good to hear, because that's exactly what mine looks like. That's what I feel it looks like anyway. So that's
it.
Yeah. So, Diane, if you could go back and maybe speak to yourself as that 5-year-old, what advice would you give to yourself, knowing what was going to happen?
What would I say to myself? I would say, you've got this. I would say support. I would say back yourself. It's not going to be always this hard, but I would say really what I've been through now, I would say actually it's a gift. I find, like, I know it's a strange thing to say, but I think being through that and to where I am now, I'm grateful. Couldn't see it then, couldn't see it for a long time, but right now I think, okay, now I'm where I need to be, doing what I need to do. So I would just say, back yourself and be confident.
Yeah, I get that, and I actually very much appreciate that, because I work with, and I'm like that actually myself, whereas I've had a lot of experiences that weren't necessarily enjoyable at the time, let's say, but I'm grateful for having them, because look at where it's got me now. Like this, even that experience of leaving the house with $200 in my pocket and a 7 and an 8-year-old children. It wasn't nice at the time, but now I'm grateful for it, because, as I've said, I have learnt to be financially independent. So Alice says hi. Hi, Alice.
Yeah, I think they're a lesson. As long as you find that joy in it at the end, and you think, okay, that's what I was meant to go through, and that's, but I'd say for anyone that's going through it, just there is a way out.
Yes. So do you have any other advice for people who might be in an abusive situation at the moment, who, maybe, let's say on the outside look financially wealthy, but they've actually, they might be experiencing a bit of financial abuse? Do you have any advice to those women out there?
Yep, I do. I would say find your support. Find your true support. Find, even if there's that one person that will listen to and won't judge. I know you're going to, at times we sort of do move away from people for whatever reason, but just try that one, or just takes one person. I mean, I had one girlfriend that I could just ring and straight away she'd say, okay, what's wrong? You know, and you could tell that one person you can tell anything to, no judgment, no shame, no requirement to give anything back to that person. They're just there, they'll listen to you, they will support you. Find one that won't enable you, you know, there's some people that will say, oh, well, you know, especially if you don't have any bruises on you, they'll say, oh, well, you know, he's not hitting you. Well, no, there's all different forms of abuse. You know what I mean? If he's taking control of your finances and you've got no money to buy dinner for your kids, it is a form of abuse. So don't hang in there because, you know, there's no bruises because people want to see things. So I would say don't go to the enablers, go to the ones that will actually support and strengthen you and lift you up. And it'll actually, you know, I sort of think learn your money management skills, do the upskilling, do all of that sort of thing as well. And just keep yourself focused and get, you know, a plan. You must have a plan. And if you can have your support in on that plan as well, you know, so you know, okay, if this happens, go to this location, you know where things are in the house, where those your paperwork and your maybe it's your jewelry, whatever it is, you've got them in a place so you're ready to go quick. Just think if you've got to get out, you have to get out in like 10 minutes. So you need to know where everything is, where everything's packed, so you can get out as quick as you can. So just have a plan, have everything in place, and then if you need to, if you want to, it's easier. And it's quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we go. There's a good question from Rose. What advice could you offer to men that are going through the same type of abuse? Because yes, we do have to acknowledge that it's not just women as well.
What advice I'd say to men? I would say the same thing really. Because it's not, you know, it's just one gender. Abuse isn't just like one gender. So I would say the same thing. Exactly the same thing. Just, you know, it's your support, it's your self-belief too. Work on your self-belief, because if you're in that situation, you're not feeling great about yourself and have the confidence, you know, you might be carrying around shame or whatever, and you're carrying all those labels or beliefs other people have put onto you. So I would just keep working on your mindset. You know, even that's a book you can read, or it's, you know, something, if you've got to be discreet, something you can watch. Something, you know, the same thing. Have your plan, have your support. Make sure it's, you know, strong support that'll make sure, okay, and hold you accountable. This is what you said you're going to do. This is what you got to do. And just go through that process as well.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll take you back. I know I've spoken about this a bit too, but I do think support is extremely important. And you did say support from someone who is not going to enable the situation. I really respect that you've said that, because I have also had the experience where, you know, someone has enabled me. You know, they haven't, it's not like they've been helping in any way, if that makes any sense.
And what's out of love, I suppose. Some people, they don't know how to react. So they just think, you know, like a certain person said to me, look, you know, well, there's no hit you.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, but there's other traits, you know, like because there's no mark. But there are so many different, you know, and have you, it's support that's non-judgmental, because must admit, I did have a woman say, because, you know, not all relationships start out the way they end. Sometimes you meet Mr. Right and it's all great, you know, and you buy into it, and it takes time for it all to come out. And sometimes when they go out, they've got one face on, and they come behind closed doors and it's another. So I did have one friend saying, I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Because yes, you saw the face that went outside that front door.
Exactly.
You didn't see the face that was behind those closed doors. So a lot of you will come across people that'll just think, oh, I don't believe it, just making it up. You could have. And I had that situation, and that stuck with me, and I thought, I'm sitting here crying and telling you things I haven't told a lot of people. And then the reaction was, doesn't make sense. So I would say just, you know, if you've got someone like that, that's okay. Doesn't mean, you've got to feel anything lesser, you know. So just, I would say reach out for the right support. And if you've got a friend, if you're watching, if you've got a friend going through that, just be someone that listens, but not just with your ears. I think you've got to look at their body posture. You know,
Yes.
if they're down, if they're hunched over, even if they're angry all the time, there's something behind it. There's so many signs in a person that people just think, oh, and they just walk away. But if you're a true friend, look at those little signs and pick up on those.
Yeah, and I think people will be able to really be able to see those signs. I mean, you know, when I was going through my experience, there was a point where the happier I seemed on the outside to the greater public, like you said, you know, I was actually at home in tears, just a blubbering mess, because I was quite a mess. But when I did reach out to specific people who I trusted, they actually said to me, they said, well, actually, we knew that something was a little bit off. So, you know, isn't that interesting? Because I think there are going to be friends and even some family members out there going to be watching us. And we're not, you know, we might not be aware at how much they can actually see.
It's true. And sometimes I don't know how to react. Like, I don't know. You know, imagine if they brought up something and you denied it, or it wasn't true, or it wasn't, you know, you just don't. I mean, we all do the best we can do.
That's right.
You know, as long as we realise that and we give support when we can and we accept help and support, you know, we're all at different stages.
Exactly. So if we've got some people who, you know, who are in that situation, they might be family or friends of people that they suspect might be in an abusive relationship or experiencing something similar, what would you say to them?
What would I say? If they've got friends, I would say, I'd say, listen, be supportive, try to empower and encourage and lift them up, because if they're getting beaten down all the time, they've got to have someone that's got their back and that lifts even if it's lifting their spirits through a good laugh or a memory or a conversation, but something, try and, you know, build them back up. And also, you know, work on a plan if you have to with them. Just say, you know, okay, what are we going to do? And it could be, how are you going to go? When are you going to go? Where are you going to go? Where's the money? Where's the things you've got sort of secretly packed, or do you know quickly where to get them from? And, you know, and there is actually, I've seen now a movement that's, if you're talking FaceTime or Zoom, I don't know if you've seen it, and you sort of, the woman just brushes her hair and she just puts one finger down, and that's a sign it's time. And I think that is fabulous. Yeah. So, you know, they can't hear it, because sometimes, you know, your phone's monitored. Sometimes, you know, your emails are monitored. Sometimes, you know, you don't know what's happening. But if you can have some sort of signal, or even if it's a text, with a H or one, it can just be one letter.
Great.
And send it to that one person. They know when they get that, it's time. So that's what I would. Yeah. Beautiful.
Fantastic advice you have given to us today, Diane, and we really, really appreciate you coming on to speak to us. Now, do you have an offer or anywhere you'd like to direct our audience to go to where they can find out more about you?
I do. I've got a free coaching session, and we'll go through and we'll have a look at I'll look at how balanced your life is. We work out what you want to work on, and we just do a lot of looking at where you're at, where you want to be, 6 months planning, 12-month planning, what steps, actions you can take, and then we move forward from there. And you can contact me through, you know, diane@goodpropertygroup.com.au or Diane Klem-Goode, you know, on LinkedIn as well. You know, I'm quite happy to reach out and help. I've been there, and I've had, you know, I've had one person to turn to, so I'm here.
Hello. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I think
Then we froze.
That's okay. Thank you, Diane. Look, we do have your details scrolling across the bottom of the screen, where people can contact you for that free coaching session. That would be fabulous. And thank you once again for joining us today. We really do appreciate it, Diane. And if you would like to learn more about Healing Through Love, or if you'd like to get involved in the Healing Through Love show, or on our Pamper Days, which our Pamper Day for 2021 is now going to be in May, we would love to have you go to our Facebook page Healing Through Love, or you can contact us at hcladelaide@gmail.com. So once again, thank you for joining us today. We look forward to spending lunchtime with you again next week, and we will now have a word from our sponsors. Thank you. Bye, everybody.